having a wonderful night. It is myself and Garnett.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I am great. How are you?
I am good. I'm a little sore today. I wish I
Well,
was. I wish I was still on whatever they gave me yesterday. Um, I know I messaged you last minute, but I found some interesting articles that I just wanted to go over. Um, this one on the screen. More than half a century after a teen girl was strangled to death, authorities identified the murder suspect, but the case is not closed. More than 52 years after 16-year-old Pamela Lynn Conyers was strangled to death in central Maryland, authorities said they have identified a suspect in her killing with the help of genealogy. The suspect, who police identified as Forrest Clyde Williams III, would have been 21 at the time of the killings. He died in Virginia when he was originally from in 2018 of natural causes. Anne Arundel County Police Lieutenant Jackie Davis said in a Friday news conference, if Williams was alive today, he would have been charged in the killing, police said. Davis said authorities were able to find a mugshot of the suspect because he had been arrested several times in the early 1970s after Pamela's killing for minor crimes, including acting drunk and disorderly. So this is him. Um, Booking photo of Forrest Clyde Williams III, Anne Arundel County Police Department. Pamela, a high school student, went missing on October 16, 1970, after going on an errand run at a nearby mall, Davis told reporters. Her body was found 4 days later, just a short distance from where authorities recovered her abandoned car, less than 24 hours early. A medical examiner ruled her cause of death asphyxiation sorry, due to strangulation and ruled her death a homicide, Davis added. She was quiet, quite simply doing what most 16-year-old high school students did back then, living her life, creating memories, and spending precious moments with her family and friends. Simply celebrating and enjoying the essence of her teen years until her life was tragically and selfishly taken. Anne Arundel County Police Chief Amal Awad said, Pamela was never forgotten, nor will she be ever forgotten, the chief added. Police don't believe Williams and young Pamela had met before the teen's killing, Davis said. Evidence collected at the crime scene during the time and evolved technology that didn't exist decades ago helped lead authorities to the suspect, police said. FBI agents use investigative genealogy to generate new leads when other investigative methods have been exhausted, said Thomas Sobosinski, special agent in charge with the FBI's Baltimore office. Genealogy combines DNA evidence and traditional genealogy to find biological connections between people, and in recent years has helped detectives narrow down their list of possible suspects in cold cases. We use crime scene DNA and its analysis to develop a profile. We then use publicly accessible database and information to identify potential relatives of a suspect or the victim. Based on those results, investigators then try to create a sort of family tree and generational generationally, I don't know, work that tree down to somebody who may fit the age and gender profile of the suspect. The agent said he did not want to further elaborate on the process used in Pamela's case to avoid compromising the ongoing investigation. Though he did not offer specifics, Sabaskinkilada confirmed that investigators in the case had gotten DNA samples from people before finally identifying Williams as a suspect. But the agent declined to identify who samples were drawn from or how they may have been related to Williams. When Pamela was murdered in 1970, investigative genetic genealogy did not exist. DNA Analysts. Why am I having such a hard time? Um, Analysts did not exist. The tools, both scientific and investigative, used to solve her murder have evolved. This technique gives the FBI a chance to solve cases that would not have been solved in any other way. So they're saying this is not a closed case. Despite Friday's announcement, police say it's not closed and they are still asking members of the public who may know something about the killing to come forward with that information. It is very important for me to say that detectives and investigators have not ruled out the possibility that another person or persons may be involved in Pam's murder. Because of that, we have to protect the integrity of the investigation and any potential future huh? What? Girl? Prosecutions. It's why Davis explained police have not shared specific details about the case and crime scene. Authorities also encourage those who might have known Williams at the time of the murder to help shed light on how he and Pamela might have met. So, I guess they're thinking maybe another person's involved. Um, that's really insane how they do that.
Well, they're being responsible, not closing any doors. So
Yeah.
that's always good.
Oh, no, that's good, but I'm saying it's crazy how the whole DNA genetic thing
Right.
works.
And they're doing that more and more frequently now.
Yeah, like the boy in the box.
Yep.
There's a bunch of cases like that. That's crazy. There was another one that I saw. Let me find it. Oh, I want to do this one too. Baby was found alive in a bag inside of a gas station trash can. Um, where is it? Miracle Man woke up 7 year. Da, 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 da. Where is it? A baby died of fentanyl overdose, and of course, it just disappeared. This was a sad story. Where did it go?
Oh. Oh.
You are tired.
I've been working on centerpieces all evening.
Oh yeah, you gotta do that.
Yeah,
Have that
next
done by
weekend.
next weekend. Hold on. Maybe I fentanyl. I don't know. Fentanyl. Was this it? Okay. So let me play this video. Mm, hold on. No, where did he go? Hold on. I guess it's gonna make us watch this commercial real quick. Oops, what did I do? No,
Did you pause it?
no. Like every time I click on it, it sends me to a. What the hell? Okay, let me try this again. Oops. Oh, hold on. I'm playing it the whole time and I didn't have the screen shared, so you guys probably didn't hear it.
month-old daughter dead from fentanyl poisoning. The family says they put little baby Enora down for a nap in the home they rented, only to find her dead 2 hours later. The previous renters allegedly admitted to throwing a drug-fueled party before checking out. Thomas Scalero is the attorney representing the family and joins me now. Thomas, thanks for being here to talk about this.
And this, I have to stop it every once in a while, but this is so heartbreaking. Like, could you imagine? I mean, how does that work? So
they were staying in a hotel?
they were staying in a, this family was renting, or went to an Airbnb.
Okay, an Airbnb. Okay.
And I guess people were throwing a party. And the fentanyl, I guess.
Well, plain and simple, it couldn't have been cleaned afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, that falls on the Airbnb. Yeah. That's their responsibility.
And the people that were doing this, having this.
Oh, absolutely. But ultimately, it was the Airbnb's responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But my gosh, what a gut-wrenching story and just a terrible situation this is. So what is the family saying happened?
Good morning. Actually, thank you for your attention to this story. Yeah, well, the family remains devastated by this. They had all plans for a nice, simple family vacation. Everything seemed fine. They put their baby down for a nap after she played in the house for a little bit, and then go to wake her up.
Look how cute she is. Oh, look at that smile.
A few hours later, and they're met with a lifeless body. It's just every parent's absolute worst nightmare.
I cannot imagine what they're going through. We do not have Thomas anymore. It doesn't seem.
I'm here.
No, okay, I can still hear you. So, Thomas, what I want to know, I'm not sure how this works, but when it comes to figuring out it was fentanyl, I mean, was there an autopsy done? Was there a drug test? How do they come to that conclusion?
Yeah, well, good question. Initially, they had no idea what happened. They thought it could have been sudden infant death syndrome or, something genetic. The family was without any answers, but it was not until an autopsy report came back that found the fentanyl. Actually, it was 34.2 nanograms per deciliter, or I'm sorry, milliliter. I'm no chemist, but that is a fatal.
Oh my! So they must have laid her down where it was, or.
I don't know. That's a lot, and there's a lot of people there's a lot of misinformation about fentanyl and the way that it poisons you. And I'll say that, you really got to ingest it or sniff it. Like it's not, unless you have open wounds that you're rubbing it into, you're not going to overdose by touching it. It's not absorbed through the skin. So
That's what I'm saying, because my best friend, Tony, the one that survived the massacre, he would, after heroin, he turned to fentanyl. And I'm like, okay, how can people do fentanyl if it's so dangerous? Like, how does somebody make that their choice of drug and not know?
Well, first off, when we talk about fentanyl, everybody assumes, oh, this is the hospital grade. And if it was the hospital grade, we probably wouldn't have as many overdose deaths as what we have.
Yeah.
The issue is that it's manufactured in little labs in China and the United States. It's not medical grade. So that's where the problem first starts. But like I said, it still isn't something that you're going to touch and overdose. That is such a misconception.
Yeah, because I've heard that before, and I literally thought that's what happened.
Absolutely not. That is not even, like I said, if you have a cut on your finger and you dump fentanyl in it, yeah, that you could overdose that way. But just putting it on your fingers or not normal breathing it, unless you're in a room that's filled with it, chances are you would never overdose on either of those. And when I say filled, I mean to the point where you're going to see it in the air
Yeah.
for it to become dangerous just through those simple. Is that making sense to you?
Yeah.
Like this baby had to have been laid, and I can see how it can happen if maybe they were preparing drugs on the bed, or some got spilled on the floor and the baby was down there, and babies put stuff in their mouths.
Hey, checking. How
So
are you? I hope you're feeling better. We miss you. So what were you?
I could see how it could happen, but I also know that it's not as simple. I mean, for all we know, the baby could have found a baggie and was sucking on that.
Yeah, because just laying her down, you're saying that.
Yeah. Like I'm saying that you didn't just lay her on what seemed to be a clean bed and she overdosed. That's not the way fentanyl works.
All right, let's see. There might be more to it. Let's play it. Checking. I'm glad because I don't know. We've been worried about you. Haven't heard from you. So
Very worried.
yes, I hope that you are starting to feel better, and you can come back soon.
Dose of fentanyl especially for a 19-month-old baby.
Thomas, did they say how this was ingested? I mean, was it a pill lying around that she got a hold of on accident? Was it just particles in the air? What was it?
No one knows, but it looks like, from all that we can piece together, that you're talking about residue that's left over from being cut up, being crushed, something, a surface not being wiped up, a baby's hand just touching. And you know how babies are, they put anything in their mouths. So they put their fingers in their mouths all day long. So, that's part of the message that the family really wants to get.
Okay, so that makes sense. Like she's playing around and she's touching things, and there's some
Residue on that absolutely can happen. I'm just very leery because even police departments have put out a whole lot of misinformation. So anytime I hear a story like this, like my heart skips a beat because this absolutely costs addicts their lives. Because if somebody sees somebody overdosing, they automatically, the first thing they think is, I don't want to die. So a lot of times they'll walk away just because of this whole, if you come into contact with it at all, you're going to die. And that's definitely not the case. But a baby who is crawling around, touching things, putting her hands in her mouth, easily ingestible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Get out is that number one, do not assume that just because someplace looks clean and safe and sanitary, even if it's advertised like Airbnb, these VRBOs, that they are safe, that they're not. You don't know who was there before you. You don't know what they were doing there before you. So wipe down the surfaces, take that extra step, those extra measures, because you don't want to find yourself in a situation that they have.
Gosh, but then you have to wonder and worry, is it particles in the air? I mean, you can do as much cleaning as you want, but there's so much about this drug that we just don't know. So from a legal standpoint, is Airbnb, are they protected under anything as far as any papers that they signed consenting to anything when they checked in?
Well, there's standard sort of, I don't want to call it a release, but standard contracts when you sign up for anything, whether it's a VRBO or an Airbnb.
I didn't even think of that. Like when because I've never been in an Airbnb. Like, I bet there's paperwork that says like we're not reliable or
Responsible, yes, yes. And I'm sure that, almost anywhere, anything you do now, you sign a disclaimer that says they're not responsible.
oh my god.
But I just don't see how not properly cleaning an area, and to me, this is exactly what it is. I mean, these people rented this Airbnb and then it wasn't cleaned correctly. It just wasn't cleaned correctly.
Yeah. That's so scary.
Or a rental car or anything like that. Regardless of any standard contract, I haven't met one that I haven't been able to bust through, especially when I'm fighting for a little child in the family. So they can do whatever they want, but they and everybody involved in this has responsibility and culpability, and I'm going to see to it that they're held responsible under the law.
Thomas, is there any chance at all in your mind that this little baby, Enora, could have come in contact with this anywhere else, not in that Airbnb?
Zero. Absolute 100% zero.
And then it's like, okay, well, I'm saying the people before should be held responsible, but it depends how many people were there, renting. They were,
Right.
How do they know it wasn't the person to, they're going to have to put all that together. Like,
Well, and even if it was the party that was there, a lot of times addicts are sick, and even their loved ones and closest friends don't know how sick they are until something like this happens.
yeah, that's scary. Like, my man works at a hotel, and he's in engineering. Like, you don't think about those things, and he's constantly touching stuff, and
Right. That's why you should always wear gloves when you're cleaning in a situation like that.
yeah.
I mean, because once again, like I said, you're not going to catch it in the air, but you should always take the precautions to be sure that you're safe.
Checking
And
could have been the cleaners too.
it
Yeah.
absolutely could have been.
So they're gonna have to, go through each and every person, and that's gonna be a lot of work because
And sadly, they may never get an answer.
yeah,
I've looked at every issue, I've vetted every issue in this case. These parents are like you and I, actually. They live and die for their children. Absolutely 100% not. And fentanyl reacts pretty quickly on the system. So it's not like this, she could have come in contact with this on the airplane or in a rental car or anything like this. No, it simply was in that house. Now, I understand no one would want to admit to that. I wouldn't want to admit to killing a child either. But these folks did, and they're going to have to answer for it.
And before I let you go, there have not been any criminal charges filed. But quickly, do you expect anything to be filed against any three people, whether it be the previous renters, Airbnb, or the people who own the Airbnb? Do you expect those charges to come down?
I don't know what the sheriff's office is going to do.
Yeah.
All I can do is do my work and then supply them with the information because, some people may surface dig. I tend to dig a bit deeper.
Okay. Well, obviously, all of our hearts go out to this poor family and that sweet little.
I cannot imagine. Oh, my heart breaks. Like going on a vacation, having fun, and then next thing you know, you wake up and.
It's definitely a wake-up call, and checking even said she uses them all the time and has never thought. And it's not something that even me, with my knowledge of drug use, what I have really thought about, after this story, my daughter goes anywhere and we're wiping everything down.
Yeah.
But definitely not something I'd have thought of before.
Exactly. Oh, that is so sad. I have one more. One more. Is this it? Okay, so police are looking for a mother. A baby is found alive in a bag inside a gas station trash can as cops hunt for the mother in California. A 1 hour old baby was found alive inside a gas station trash can in Fullerton, Orange County on Thursday, prompting authorities to search for the mother. Crews were called to the Chevron gas station located in the 900 block of Orange Thorpe Avenue. At around 3:30 p.m., the baby boy was discovered in the bathroom, according to Metro City's fire authority. The baby had been placed in a bag inside of the trash can and was found by an employee of the gas station. Officers immediately began life-saving measures, and firefighters took the baby to a nearby children's hospital in the city of Orange. Fullerton Police Department said he is in critical but stable condition. Authorities are examining security footage in the search for the mother, whose identity is unknown. It's an active investigation. They're working all possible leads to do all they can to solve this issue. O'Neill said the call for service was a possible newborn child in the bathroom trash can. Upon arrival, officers located a newborn child in the trash can and immediately. They already said that. What? It is not known whether the baby's mother had given birth at the gas station. O'Neill said, I think that would be a tragic event for anybody who was put in that situation. There are safe surrender baby laws that allow parents, guardians, or mothers to surrender their child within 72 hours of birth with no questions asked. There are hospitals that are designated as safe surrender along with fire departments, O'Neill said. The process is legal, confidential, and free. The person has to state that they would like to safely surrender the baby and will be given matching ID bracelets with the baby in case the person wants to later reclaim the baby. The person surrendering the baby will also be provided with an optional medical questionnaire. Anyone with information about the abandonment of the infant was asked to call Detective Marcus Sanes at 714-738-5361. Anonymous calls can be made to Orange County Crime Stoppers at 855-TIP-OCCS or sent to occrimestoppers.org. Why do people do that? Do they not know that you can go ahead and?
Well, see, and I think that a lot of it now are the younger kids,
Yeah,
that still don't quite understand or know, I hope, I want to say that I hope that that's the case, that nobody, that this was more of a very scared child and not a full grown functioning adult that should know that these places are all over the United States now.
yeah. It's ooh, it's really sad. It is really sad. I think that we need to let people know, especially the younger generation, like, hey, there are ways to do this. Instead, remember that cheerleader that had her baby and dug her in her backyard? It was huge. I forgot her name, but she didn't let anyone know she was pregnant. Like nobody knew. And she had her baby and she buried it. I forgot when this was. Checking, you probably know who I'm talking about. But she would go to school. She would just wear hoodies. Her mom would she had eating problems, so her mom would be oftentimes say oh, you're getting too fat, and make her diet. So while she was pregnant, her mom was like, you're getting a little chubby and you need to thin it down. And she didn't end up getting jail time, I don't think. I forgot. Like she got put on like probation or something, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. It's very tragic. I mean,
It
and sadly, I do believe with some of these law changes, we'll see more and more of this.
There was one more. This was the one that I was looking for. That somebody, sub, actually brought up the other day. So, a U.S. girl, 8, missing since 2018 when she was kidnapped, found safe in Mexico, and returned to America. An 8-year-old girl who has been missing since 2018 when she was kidnapped from Washington shopping mall has been found safe and well in Mexico and returned to the U.S. Aranza Maria Lopez was abducted by her bio mom on October 25th, 2018, in Vancouver, Washington. According to the FBI, who announced her return Wednesday, Lopez had supervised visit with her mother, Esmeralda Lopez, on the day that she disappeared. The FBI confirmed to CBS News she was safely recovered by Mexican authorities in February in Michoacan, a state in western Mexico. FBI special agents took Lopez back to the U.S. after she was found. Officials have yet to reveal further details on her discovery, including how she was tracked down and who the child was with when she was found. Mexico kidnapping investigation. Oh, that's the one. After the kidnap, the FBI determined that the 8-year-old was taken to Mexico. Her mother was taken into custody in September 2019 in Puebla, a city in east central Mexico, as the search for the girl continued. This is the mother. She pled guilty in 2021 to second-degree kidnapping, robbery, and first-degree custodial interference, according to the local newspaper, The Colombian. Richard A. Collodi, special agent in charge of the FBI's Seattle field office, said that law enforcement never gave up on finding Lopez. For more than 4 years, the FBI and our partners did not give up on Aranza. Our concern now will be supporting Aranza as she begins her reintegration into the U.S. The FBI had offered a $10,000 reward for information that might help them with the search. They worked with the Vancouver police in Washington and law enforcement in Mexico on the investigation. The majority of abducted children are taken by family members, according to the National Center of Missing and Exploiting Children. Only 1% of missing children cases are abductions by non-family members, according to the center's data. Where did it go? Why did it just disappear? Oh, I guess that was it. So yeah, that would be interesting to find out like who she was with. Maybe it was like the mom's family, but
Right.
she's found and back in the father's hands or whoever's hands. So, yeah, those are just the stories I wanted to go over. It is great news. It's definitely all these stories, especially the ones. Oh, did you hear about the lady that just came back again that was missing for more than 30 years?
I think I have heard that one.
It was a different one than the other. I put it in the group the other day. Okay, so woman, is this it? A Pennsylvania woman?
I don't know. Read it.
So, woman missing more than 30 years and thought to be dead, found living in Puerto Rico nursing home. A Pennsylvania woman who disappeared more than 30 years ago was believed to be dead by her family, was recently found in a nursing home in Puerto Rico. Her family and police said at a news conference Thursday. Oh no, this wasn't the one, but this is
He says she had
hold on.
a person's case that sat unsolved inside Ross Township Police for over over 30 years.
I come home one night and she's gone, and nobody knew where she was at.
Bob Kopta struggles to talk about the journey to search for his missing wife, Patricia Kopta. He says she had some mental health issues and talked about wanting to go to Puerto Rico where it was warm.
It's been going on for 31, almost 31 years. It's been bad. I had it cost me a lot of money. I even put advertised in the paper down in Puerto Rico looking for her.
While none of that worked, she was right where he thought she might be.
We were contacted by some individuals, an agent from Interpol, as well as a social worker from Puerto Rico that believed that they had her at an adult care home there.
Okay, so that wasn't one, but that's another one. Hold on. Let me, what's her name? Crime Weekly. Crime Weekly just did it. Okay, maybe it is. Let's see. Oh yeah, that was the woman.
An hour ago. Where are you?
So all these cases just give you hope. Like people that disappear, it's like they could be anywhere. They could be in a different country. They could be in any state, any country, and people just don't need to give up.
Drinking on the
See it a lot lately where people just appearing, decades later.
Right.
So that's really interesting. But that's it. Those are the stories that I wanted to just cover. We're going to do sub recommended or wanted us to do a case on Ethan Belcher. Horrible story. Horrible. It's another CPS failure, so we'll have that coming up. Checking convictions when you get better. I think we're gonna do the part 2 of Darlene.
The Darlie case.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we hope you get better. We're praying for you. We definitely want your insight and what you think about the case because we've had a couple people come and leave comments like, "Oh, she did it. All of it's been proven." Like saying that we're, we're all wrong. But I definitely would like to know what you think on the case. So thank you guys for joining. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Love you too, checking, and we will talk to you later. All right, Garnett. Good night.
Good night.